Hello, my name is Dr. Greg Mancini, Associate Professor of Surgery at University of Tennessee in Knoxville. This is part of my series on obesity surgery. In the last episode, you saw me kind of define what obesity is, and this really is an 8-minute talk really about the obesity epidemic and the whys of that. For more information about bariatric surgery or obesity, you can see me at utsurgery.com or at UT Bariatrics. Also happy to take a phone call at area code 865-305-9355. I showed you some data last time from the CDC that categorizes the state-by-state impact of obesity. Here's the 2010 data that came out from the CDC that shows in color the differences between obesity rates in different states. You can see that the Southeast has significant obesity with rates of nearly 30% in most of the states. And then really the question a lot of people ask is, well, why? Why has it changed since about 1991? Why have the rates gone up from about 10% to 30%? And so what I'd like to do today is kind of shine a light on what many scientists have done work on and put that into layman's terms. I think the first thing to understand is the concept of caveman survival. Humans are genetically engineered to survive starvation. We have been here for about 4 million years based on recent data, and we spent most of that time searching for food, having insecure food supplies. It's only been in the last 100 years, especially in the Western world, where we've had secure food supplies. And so we spent most of our time getting our food, killing our food, hunting our food, or gathering our food. And the reality is if we couldn't survive those times of famine, we as a species would not be here. And so essentially all of our genetic and biological systems are set up to convert dietary sugars and fats into fat stores. And that's how we got through those low calorie times. So if you think about it in terms of survival, is that a human can live without food for 21 days, but can only live without 3 days of water. So the food availability means that we are constantly storing. We're in the storing phase of energy, and we really are never quite burning. And the other thing is that unlike other cravings, the craving to eat, which is with us all the time, can't be just quit cold turkey. You know, there are other addictions that we talk about, such as smoking or drugs, in which there are a lot of times there's a withdrawal period, and then when we get over that withdrawal period, we can manage those cravings. But with food, since we have to eat each day, it is very hard to manage those cravings. And so diets really don't work. And the reason why they don't work is because they are short-term. And what this leads to is weight loss and weight gain, what a lot of people describe as the yo-yo effect. And many of the patients that come to see us have been dieting for decades. They may have lost 30 to 100 pounds more than 10 times over their life. Yet today, when they come into our office seeking weight loss surgery, they are heavier than they had ever been. And so this years of yo-yoing often leads to part of the impact of morbid obesity. Another issue is that we really don't spend very much energy getting our next food. If you look at all other mammalian species on the planet, they spend about 2/3 to 3/4 of their calories getting their next meal. And that was much the way it was for the time period that we have been on Earth. But now, today, with our secure food supplies, with our fast food environment, food is ready and easily available. In fact, we have a fourth meal for those late night snacks. We don't expend any energy to be able to get this food. We pull up in our cars. We wait for the drive-up window. And the reality is that we eat today to stay full, not because we necessarily need the calories that are in the food that we eat. And so few of us today, fortunately, never really experience true hunger or starvation. If you look at the environmental impact that's stacked against our genetics is our food supply and our marketing apparatus that is out there that is designed to sell us food. And there has been a distortion of our proportions that has occurred over the last several decades, really to sell us more. Our marketing colleagues have come up with ideas that make the food bigger. We get more for less. And that's something that's appealing to us from an economic standpoint, but from a calorie standpoint, not such a good thing. So you can look at these common things that we eat, the Burger King hamburger, or the McDonald's fries, the Hershey bars, the Coca-Colas. When these came out in the 1950s, they were very small in size, and they were reasonably balanced in their calories. But today, the basic hamburger is about 300 to 400 calories for a single hamburger. And you really can't even get small fries anymore. You get these supersized fries that have 600 to 1,000 calories in them. In fact, today I challenge you to try to find a 6-ounce cola out there. Almost everything today is not just the 16-ounce, but it's the 20-ounce colas. And so this distortion in our proportions has meant that we have very easily taken on extra calories that we didn't necessarily need. So at the end of the day, if we look at our biology and we look at our environment, these two things are set up against us. So we say that genetics loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger. And this obesity epidemic is killing us. And so I think we have to understand that we are up against biology and up against some environmental factors to really make a movement on this issue of obesity in America. I've shown this before, which is really the impact that obesity has on every aspect of life: reduced quality of life, early death, more comorbid diseases like diabetes, disability, loss of work, and medical costs. The impact is tremendous. And we talked about this as well, comorbidities that are directly related to obesity. So these diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension, fatty liver disease, sleep apnea, these are the 6 most common things that are seen in my practice. These are directly related to obesity. We see increased rates of cancer rates as well, so that's important to remember. So why not medicines? Why not exercise? Why not diets? And the reality is, the answer to this question is E, all the above. Surgery is a part of the equation, medications, exercise, and diets. These are all important aspects. But a lot of these things aren't as effective as surgery, and so why not? The reality is that there are more drugs that have been out for weight loss that are off the market today than they're currently on the market. And the side effects of those have taken things off the market like fen-phen and some others. And so our armamentarium today is quite small when we talk about treating obesity with drugs. So you have Ally, which you can get on your supermarket, which is a fat blocker, phentermine, which can be taken for short periods of time, which is an amphetamine-based medication. 2 new drugs that are on the market are Casimia and Belviq. We don't have a lot of long-term data on these. They are combinations of previously used drugs that are put together in new formulations. And so these both work on appetite suppression and are thought to be helpful in modest weight loss. Oftentimes, most people that come to see us for weight loss surgery need something more than just these medications alone. In 2004, which is almost 10 years ago, the American Society for Metabolic Surgery, that's the bariatric society, looked at all the data that was available for understanding the best way to maintain long-term weight loss. And surgery is the most effective way to treat morbid obesity long-term. But patients need to understand that they need to work through all their issues before they have surgery. It needs to be done with a multidisciplinary approach, and a comprehensive medical evaluation is important to understand what other medical conditions place someone at risk. Well, that brings us to the end of this talk, which is on why the obesity epidemic has occurred over the last 25 years. Hopefully that was helpful. Please stay tuned for further discussions on the types of surgery that are available in 2012. Once again, you can see us at utsurgery.com or UT Bariatrics, or call us at 865-305-9355. Thank you very much.